right, meantime, bills that reduce requirements to get registered as a natural hair braider or practice cosmetology are now being reviewed by the Louisiana House. Kenya Ross is here with those details. Kenya?
Yes, Jennifer. So right now, the law requires hair braiders to complete a minimum of 500 hours at a credentialed school to receive their permit, and for cosmetologists to complete at least 1,500. But some hairstylists who aren't licensed want these requirements removed. The Louisiana State Beauticians and Barbers Association went to the Capitol Tuesday to challenge House Bill 930, which would lower training and instructional hours from 1,500 to 1,000 for a cosmetic license. Although the House bill has been tabled for now, some cosmetologists say the industry needs to remain regulated to keep clients safe at the salon or barbershop.
They don't understand that. They don't understand the chemistry, and they don't understand the science, what happens below the scalp, like what happens beneath the nail bed, what happens beneath the toenail bed. Yeah, they have to identify infectious disease.
While hair braiders are required to complete a certain amount of hours, House Bill 749 is proposing the state to get rid of this requirement. An attorney with the Institute for Justice says 33 states don't regulate natural hair braiding at all.
Meaning that they don't have to get a permit. Some states require registration, but that's as simple as completing an online form and submitting, a $25 fee. Some states do require permits, like Louisiana, but they require far less training.
The State Beauticians Association's Director of Education says they've experienced walking to braiding salons and seeing hair coloring going on and chemicals applied, a technique that's not supposed to be performed if you don't have a cosmetology license.
They need to know that shampoo and conditioner is considered a chemical as well, so it can alter the hair as well. So they need to have some form of education so that they will know the science of hair. I guarantee you, if you would ask some of the braiders, what is hair itself?
They have no idea.
They have no idea.
According to the Institute for Justice, under the current law, unlicensed hair braiders was up to $5,000 in fines for every time they braid without a license. Jennifer?